Gentlemen, welcome back to the Fragrance Attorney. Hope you are feeling absolutely amazing today. Thanks for spending some time with me on the channel. For any new people watching, if you can support the channel, hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. We are getting closer to 1,000, which was the initial goal. So it's been awesome to see all the growth. So any new people, if you can help support the channel, hit the subscribe real quick. I appreciate it. Let's talk today about 8 affordable fragrances. They're going to smell awesome this winter. Get you guys smelling great on a budget. So the first two are going to be from the House of Banana Republic. I'm going to grab them both. The first one is going to be tobacco and tonka bean, and the other one is going to be dark cherry and amber. So if you're familiar with this line at all, you know I like to talk about them, and you know that the quality is really good for the price that you pay. These are usually in like the $20 mark at the rack stores, and they smell, definitely they punch way above their weight class. So tobacco and tonka bean, besides what you get from the name, you're going to get this really nice kind of ice cream sweetness, this gourmand feeling from this fragrance. Looks quite nice with these with the bottle style and the nice like dark purple color. You don't really see that in a lot of fragrance bottles, so it'll kind of stand out in your collection and has this nice elegant look to it, as well as the simplicity that comes with this icon line design. Decent performance here, not super long lasting, it's average, but the scent profile works really well in the cooler weather. It's a great price for this fragrance. It's really easy to like tobacco fragrance. Tobacco can sometimes be a challenging note, and the tonka bean is not overly done. It's not overly powdery. It's more of like a nice thick creaminess that you get, this ice cream type of vanilla creaminess that you get with tobacco and tonka bean. A lot of people's favorite from this line, and I understand why. It's a beautiful fragrance for the cooler months. And also now moving on to dark cherry and amber. This one is a little bit more of a unisex fragrance and comes in second place for me underneath the tobacco and tonka bean in this line. But the best way I can describe this one, it's like a cherry dipped in dark chocolate. So if that sounds appealing to you, and if you're not afraid of wearing a little bit more of a fruity fragrance, this is something that you definitely want to check out. Again, with the quality and the nice look to it, there's a lot going for this line. And as far as cold weather fragrances go in that $20 range, these are really hard to beat, and you're getting a lot of value with this product. So any of these Banana Republic icon line fragrances are usually a good buy, especially dark cherry and amber and tobacco and tonka bean. All right, number 3 of this list is going to be more divisive, definitely the most divisive fragrance on this list, both in the bottle and the smell. Moschino Toy Boy. So if you're not into really youthful, kind of sweeter leaning fragrances, and especially if you're not into rose dominant fragrances, which is what this is, you're going to want to steer clear. This bottle style may turn some people off. I don't mind it. I like kind of gimmicky bottles. I think they're just kind of fun and quirky. But for some people who think this looks a little childish, I can understand that as well. Basically, you're going to get a really nice rose and cedarwood combo, and this is more of a fragrance for someone that wants some uniqueness, that really wants to stand out, that wants to make a statement. This is more of a situational fragrance and definitely works better in the cooler months because it is so sharp and aggressive and has a real prominent rose that really captures attention and can really turn some heads for good or for bad. So just know that going into it, it's not really blind buy safe, but if you want to risk it, and if you are the type of person that enjoys scent profiles that are a little bit more challenging and divisive and offer some uniqueness, check out Moschino Toy Boy. Pretty good quality, and you can get these fragrances now for significantly less than when it first came out. It was getting hyped a lot. You can get them at a better price now. So next one on the list we have is going to be from the Eternity line. This is CK Eternity for Men Flame. So this fragrance gets a decent amount of hate online, and I think that mainly comes from that this is not an overly complex fragrance. There's not, a whole bunch of notes that you can pick out and smell and enjoy. It's really straightforward, and the main thing that you get is this ambery type of a scent profile to it. So if you're familiar with amber or amberwood, and you know how that comes across, this is pretty much just an amber bomb, and it's not as spicy as you would think a flame fragrance would be, right? When you think flame, you think hot and spicy. That's not necessarily the case here. It's definitely more of a powdery kind of sweetness going on here than a warm spice. The food that I like to compare it to is a hot tamale. once the kind of spice of that hot tamale comes down and you get into the more of the sugary base of a hot tamale, that's kind of what this reminds me of, is like more of that sugary sweetness, this candied sugary sweetness with that very prominent amber smell to it. So this one pops up at the rack stores as well. I don't think it's a must grab or something that you have to have, but if you stumble across it and you're into hot tamales as a candy at any point in your life, you may want to check this one out. That's the food that this one kind of reminds me of, and I reach for it from time to time. It's not something that I gravitate toward all the time, but it does work really well in the cooler weather, and it is a good affordable price behind this one with CK Eternity Flame. All right, next one up we have is a fragrance that I got as a recommendation from a channel member. So thank you for recommending this. You know who you are. This is Rasasi Daarej. And the quality here is outstanding. I saw on Amazon you can get this one for like $18, which is crazy. I think I paid like around $25 for my bottle. Definitely does not smell cheap at all. Smells amazing, and I get really good performance out of it. Cuts through the cold, lasts for a long time. So really great value for money here. It's this vanilla-based kind of, also a bit of iris in there, like with the iris giving that floral note tone to it. And it's also got a good amount of sweetness here as well, and also has like this it's a little bit of a powdery nature to it as well. So floral, sweet, slightly powdery, and then in the dry down it becomes more about this like tonka bean type sweetness going on here. Overall, just a really excellent fragrance. If you like a fragrance like Bleu Noir Parfum that's got this really prominent iris and suede, it kind of reminds me of that, except it goes a bit more of the vanilla direction and not so much on the heavy iris and suede combo that one provides. But in the similar vein, I would say that iris is a little bit ramped down here, and the vanilla is definitely more prominent. But overall, great affordable fragrance for the winter time. Check out Daarej by Rasasi. Nice purple liquid in there as well. All right, next one up we have is going to be from the Jimmy Choo Man line, a fragrance that is slept on all the time. Jimmy Choo Man Blue, super underrated, and a really great blue fragrance to wear in the cooler months. So this one pops up at Burlington. That's where I got this bottle. Can't remember exactly how much I paid for this 30 ml, but I remember it was a really good price after checking online. You should always check online to make sure you're getting a good deal, right? And why does this one work so well in the cold? Because it's got this leather accord to it that gives it some depth, some character, some richness, some oomph to pass through that cold winter air. So it's got more character than your typical blue fragrance. It doesn't just smell super shower gel fresh. It's got that nice leathery backbone to it, which I really enjoy. I enjoy wearing this one. I enjoy the sillage. I think it smells pretty elegant and classy and pretty luxurious, especially for the price range. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Armani Code, the way like the tonka bean and leather come across in Armani Code in that DNA. I get a little bit of that here as well in this Jimmy Choo Man Blue. So if you stumble across this one for a good price and you enjoy blue fragrances and you want something with a bit more of a wintertime twist to it, check out Jimmy Choo Man Blue. This one smells really great in the cold weather. I just wore this one the other night and I was loving the scent sillage that it was creating. So definitely a good one to wear in the cooler months as far as blue fragrances go. All right, next one up we have is CK1 Shock. So you probably have heard about this one already. You know, it comes up a lot in Fragcom and people love to talk about it. And yeah, it's gotten a lot of hype over the years, so I won't spend too much time on it, but a really nice, warm, spicy fragrance with a bit of freshness as well, actually. And it's got these oriental notes, specifically the tobacco, nice beginner-friendly tobacco. This bottle is usually always in the $20 range, and it's pretty much a staple as far as affordable fragrances go for wintertime. It's always coming up in everybody's lists, so for good reason, because it offers a lot of value, smells really, really good, especially for not that much money, right? So CK1 Shock, it's pretty much a must-have for any person that considers themselves an enthusiast / collector, or any person that's just looking for a really great winter fragrance on a budget. You cannot go wrong with CK1 Shock. Makes a good gift as well, especially for someone who is possibly in the younger fragrance type category, right? All right, last one we have is Pure XS from Paco Rabanne. Now, admittedly, I bought this one at first just because I really like the bottle, and I don't advise that you guys do that. There have been a couple fragrances that I bought just because I really like the bottle and I was willing to gamble on the scent profile. And admittedly, I didn't really like this one a lot. It is very different than everything I had smelled at that point. But this one has definitely grown on me more and more. And now that the cooler weather has arrived, I really am understanding the situational use behind this one and the appeal behind it more so. It's got this vanilla Coca-Cola type smell to it. It is got a bit of depth and like heaviness to it as well. A bit of like this booziness. Not really sure where it comes from. I think from like a whiskey type booziness coming there. So it's got a nice blend of different things going on. Pretty heavy on the vanilla as well. So it's gonna make you stand out. It's unique. It's got some nice character to it, and it's kind of a forgotten gem. Not so much in the fragrance community. This one does come up a lot, but as far as like your everyday person, they're probably not going to know about Paco Rabanne Pure XS because at the time that this one came out, 1 Million kind of came out after, and just everyone was so focused on 1 Million and the 1 Million line that this one kind of got swept under the rug, but is still a really great fragrance. This is the newer bottle style. The older ones have like the Zippo cap. It doesn't really matter which one you get. I think they pretty much smell the same. But Pure XS is a really great affordable fragrance. It's going to round out today's list. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what's one affordable fragrance that I didn't mention that you're really looking forward to wearing either this year or you've worn it in years past. And yeah, you enjoyed wearing it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next time at the Fragrance Return. You have a good rest of your week, and I will be back soon with another video. Thank you guys. Take care. Peace.